So Gonzalo Lira apparently is dead. It was reported from Ukraine. In my community section, I have a photo of that, and I'm pointing to where they said that. Now, again, we don't have a body. We don't have nothing proving anything other than one text. Apparently, Sarah Ashton-Cirilla posted some video and then deleted it or something, saying the Ukraine authorities had him and he was alive. I don't know if you can believe that person. But then the video was deleted. So, Gonzalo Lira had a heart condition. Some of his followers said he made videos under his Patreon account about it, and he had a couple years left to live. This is just what I've seen in the comment section. So we got to think about this. I mean, if you know you got a heart condition, you only got a couple of years to live. I mean, do you want to die in your deathbed, or do you kind of want to go out doing something that means something? Everybody's different, but most people do want to go out meaning something. The Daily Beast, if Gonzalo Lira is dead, killed him. And he stated that. He was 100% right about that. You would think journalists would have a responsibility. We're in a war zone. I mean, that is doxing on an entire whole new level. I've seen a lot of people get doxed. I mean, there are people who have been doxed that have gotten shot by police officers, believe it or not, because of it going bad. And this is completely ridiculous. It's like the Daily Beast tries to find a way to write a story that is horrible about people and then tries to get other medias to notice them and start posting them and advertising them. It's the way they're trying to get their notoriety. And in a way, it's kind of like the Inquirer back in my younger days, but a lot worse. Gonzalo Lira, and basically doxed him when they requested a comment from the Ukraine government. They brought attention to him. Now, the Ukraine government did not give them a comment back. Of course, they're going to say no comment. They weren't requesting a comment and expecting to get one. They wanted to bring attention to him. They wanted Ukraine to notice him. And now they did and watched his videos, and shortly after, he was gone. Now, back in the old German days, you would walk down the street 1 or 2 blocks and you would be confronted with 2 officers saying, "Papers, please." You could be carded any time. You could walk 4 blocks, see 4 checkpoints, and then all of a sudden one checkpoint say, "Papers." So I'm sure a good amount of that is going on in Ukraine, where it makes it very, very difficult to move around there, is what it is. You know, the problem with people telling the truth is the first casualty of war. I really believe that. Now, the USA is sending billions of dollars, and we have an American that got killed. And Gonzalo Lira, a lot of people said he was born in Chile. He wasn't. He was born in California, in Burton, and he was there until I think it was 12, and then he went back to Chile. His parents were from Chile. You can Google all this. It's on the internet. And Biden is sending billions, and an American has gotten killed. What are you doing? That used to mean something at one time. I guess it don't no more. Now, I've heard a lot about another person called Sarah Ashton-Cirilla as being tied to some of this somehow. Now, Sarah Ashton-Cirilla is a very intelligent person and very smart. And what she does is she waits for people on her Twitter account to attack her. And being Sarah Ashton has stated herself she is a tranny, she gets a lot of hate. But it's almost like she waits for the hate. She loves it. She lives for it. And when you people or whoever decides to attack Sarah on Twitter, she waits for it like a snake in the grass. And she has read that Twitter TOS like the back of her hand. And she just loves taking down people's Twitter's accounts that want to attack her. It is against the rules of Twitter to attack anybody on Twitter, so please note that. And if you really do not like Shara Ashton-Cirilla, basically do not give her the time of day. Do not reply to her on Twitter. Completely ignore her. Act as if she's not there. That is the best way to fight Shara Ashton-Cirilla. She is a narcissist. I mean, she loves the attention. She was a gambler in Vegas, and in a way, she's gambling. She's gambling. If I go to Ukraine, I get all this notoriety and news agencies contacting me. I'll have all these different agencies paying me. It's a gamble. Is it working? I would imagine it is to a certain extent. That's for sure. But you do have the power when it comes to Shara Ashton-Cirilla. And like I said, do nothing. Do not send her tweets. Do not send her texts. Do not acknowledge her. She does not exist. And what she wants will go away. And I will not make another video about her. The Intel Slava Z Telegram posts Gonzalo Lira photo, and at the bottom of the Ukraine flag, which is posted first, our information is confirmed that the journalist was killed by Nemechev's volunteer battalion. So some volunteer battalion has killed him, is what they're saying, and they're taking credit for it. So, I would be very surprised if he is alive now. Very surprised. Now, one thing to get out there is Patrick Lancaster and anybody else that's on the ground. They're targets. That's all there is to it. I think Patrick Lancaster has a couple guards watching over him. They're targets. Anybody that's over there is a target. And Patrick's been there, from what I understand, 8-10 years, something like that. I don't know. But it seems like, and it's not just one-sided, it seems like both sides would love to put an end to this. And I suppose Putin would love to get a hold of Shara Ashton-Cirilla, just like the Ukrainian government liked to get a hold of Gonzalo Lira. One thing I've noticed as a prepper with this entire thing that's going on since I've been trying to dig up information and follow it. Now understand, I'm a computer programmer. I have been for over 30 years. I can usually find pretty much anything. And I've used every trick in the book to find out on Gonzalo Lira, and it's really hard. Really hard. But as a prepper myself, what I find with what's going on here is that you've got full newspapers like the Daily Beast doxing out people that are Americans, and they're an American company. I mean, somebody wrote in one of my comment section, loose lips sink ships, and that statement is so true. It's unbelievable. Literally, an American company has killed an American. So there's no camaraderie or, hey, I'm going to protect my own. There's only one thing. Everybody wants more money and more credit. It's like everybody's a narcissist. This is really messed up on both sides with Russia and Ukraine. But like I said, as a prepper, what I've learned, there ain't nobody protecting anybody. So when his shit hits the fan in the United States, it looks very much like you better make sure whichever neighbor you're talking to, you do trust. Because it seems like they can end your life if you say the wrong thing. And I believe if you go back to World War II, when the Germans, that went on constantly in history. And it used to go on with, I believe, China, where they would reward certain citizens for basically ratting out other citizens. And when shit hits the fan here in the US, you better be aware of this and pay attention to this. And if Patrick Lancaster's not careful on how he's videotaping everything around him, oh, they are going overboard trying to dox him so they know where to drop a bomb. If anything, if Patrick watches one of my videos, or one of you guys know him personally, he shouldn't be releasing videos on the same day of the place he's at. He should wait 3 to 4 days, then release the video. So this way, anybody doxing him or trying to locate him or trying to take him out, or maybe they have a bounty on him, then it'll make it a lot more difficult for them. Everything has to change when you're going to run a social media channel and everybody's watching you. You have to be very, very careful. And you just can't release things instantly and end up doxing yourself. I believe Gonzalo Lira used to do that. He doxed himself so many times, from what I understand. But there's a lot of crap going on. I even seen some YouTube channel from, I think it was China, Mandarin, I don't know, some other country, they created a false Twitter account, and then they tried typing in how he's alive and I'm fine and I'll get back to you and all this stuff. You even have that going on. It's just unbelievable. From lies to games to just saying things. Wow. All I got is that one post that I was able to dig up with the information saying the UK government is taking, credit for it. The Intel Slava Z on Telegram. Telegram seems to be where a lot of information is, because a lot of these so-called groups have all been kicked off of Twitter, YouTube. It seems like Telegram's the place where they're all hiding. Is where they are, which is interesting. But I'll keep bringing some little updates if I find anything major on them. And but it doesn't look good. From what I've seen, the Daily Beast did take them out. I mean, literally, that's got to be the highest doxing I've ever seen in my entire life on social media. The Daily Beast just takes the cat's meow with that. And, so a newspaper should not be able to do that, especially what's going on in war. They should have some class or some couth. The Daily Beast doesn't have either. And yet they have 1 million subscribers. I really wonder about the world anymore. I really do. Choices have consequences, and consequences are because of choices. And a lot of people don't seem to realize that at 57 years old, whatever choice you make in life is going to have a consequence, whether good or bad. So keep that in mind. You go to school, it may turn out good, or you may go to school and end up with a bill, and it may not. You really have to be aware of what you're doing with your choices. You just can't do whatever you want. Because if you do, well, then bad things happen. But as of right now, I think Gonzalo Lira is gone. And I do believe Sarah Ashton-Cirilla is nothing but a narcissist and a self-destructing person. And everybody should not give that person the time of day and just ignore her. Because it's not true news at all that she is reporting. That's what I have so far. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.